Guys, today is a bicep routine, 18-minute home workout. If you are struggling as a beginner to gain that muscle mass, this is what this routine delivers. So I'm going to show you how to build muscle mass to your biceps. But if you haven't checked out any of the other workouts, as this is the 7th day, part of my 7-day workout series, finishing off with biceps. So this is doing the same thing with every single other muscle group, so you get an entire full body workout by the end of the week. So if you are struggling to get those mass gains to your biceps right now, join me with this workout and let's get started. Hi guys, you're watching Untitled Chapter. Today we're going to go into that bicep workout, and just before I get started, just the tools that we're going to need for the actual workout. You're going to need your set of dumbbells to work with. You're also going to need a chair, so I'm going to use my bench here to imitate that chair upright position, and also, but not essential, is going to be a pull-up bar. I'm going to actually using chin-ups today to target our biceps, but alternatively, I'll throw you in an exercise, obviously if you don't have that pull-up bar at home, and you can just incorporate, again, another movement with your dumbbells. And just as always, we're going to go into a 3-minute warm-up before I get started with that 18-minute bicep workout. So here we're going to imitate 4 exercises just to warm up. We're going to warm up our back because obviously I'm using chin-ups, so back engagement there. And also when you're doing bicep with dumbbells, it does put some stress on your back. So that's the reason for warming up the back first, and then we're just going to go through some wrist movements and bicep warm-up just so we can warm the muscles up, prepare them, and obviously they work better for our muscle growth. So first one, we're going to do a 30 seconds here, and we're just going to be doing toe touches. So just warming up our back here. Just go and touch the toes, just coming up and down, and this will just get your lumbar back moving and just warmed up so you don't pull a muscle. So we're doing 30 seconds and just 10 seconds just to shake it off and preparing for the next one. Okay, so that just gives you 10 seconds there. Prepare the next one, and this is, we're going to use the chair here for this one. So if you're just going to be doing some wrist stretches here, so focusing on the forearms on both sides. So we go for the one where you have your palms forward and your fingers facing back on you, and all you're doing in pulses, just pushing your hips back and forward, and you'll get that stretch coming through the wrist into the forearms, and depending how tight your biceps are, you'll get a little stretch in your biceps as well. So these are the important stretches, definitely when you're working biceps, and you can cause yourself a little strain on your wrist. So again, just shake it off, and we're just going to be doing the opposite direction. So you got the front here of your wrist now, and again, fingers still facing back on you, and then just sort of slowly pushing your wrist towards the bench, just in small pulses. Much more sensitive doing this one. Don't try to force a wrist, don't flatten them out to the bench or to your chair. After this, just grabbing a light set of dumbbells, going to imitate the movement of a chin-up, doing a bent over reverse row. Okay, so we've got our 10 seconds again, just shaking it off. I'm going to grab those dumbbells here. So we're going to go into a bent over position, reverse, grip, lean over, and then pull to the waist. Breathing out every single time you bring that leg up. Try to focus and engage through the biceps, not so much through the back. All right, 10 seconds. Last one, very important, is the wrist. Again, we're just going to do some rotations through the wrist, just going back and forth with the wrist. So for 30 seconds, just turn those wrists out. Get them ready prepared for the pressure that they take when they're doing bicep curls and when you're doing things hanging or pull-ups. So very important just to warm these up. And don't want to overstrain your wrist, your hands. Again, you want to be able to work better through the workout. Make sure it's a quick warm up, makes a lot of difference. So that's it for the warm up. We are going straight into that workout now. Have 30 seconds, I'm getting started. So grab all the weights that you need, grab your set of dumbbells. We're doing types of bicep curls. So obviously you need to know what you can lift, and you might be able to change it obviously through the workout if you can lift a little bit heavier. We are doing a 45 seconds on with a 45 seconds rest, working 3 sets, going through 4 exercises to maximize 18 minutes of the bicep workout. First exercise we're going to focus on is the chin-ups. So that's what I'm going for here. And I've always used the bands. As a beginner, pull-ups is very difficult, chin-ups is very difficult. So grab some loop bands and that will just take some resistance off. So let's go straight into this first set. I'm going to be putting my knee in to the band here, hanging off into chin-up position. So the underhand grip, lock the other leg over, and I'm going to pull myself up. Getting that chin to the bar and going all the way down. Get the arms fully extended, and then again, going up for the second rep. Alright, so that's it for the first set, 45-second rest, and then going straight in again. So you'll find that pull-ups is one of the most difficult to work when you're doing your back or your biceps. So here, we're trying to round off the back slightly if you saw my posture through the exercise, because I'm not trying to engage so much through the back. So although it still works partial mid-back in your lats, you want to focus mostly on the biceps. So you want to have a slight curvature in the back when you're pulling. That forces you to use your arms and your bicep muscles to contract more. Yeah? So rather than having your chest out forward, that's what you do more if you're trying to target your back muscles. So that's what you need to be doing when you're doing this exercise. And so work with the bands, it's right for you. Take your time with the reps. It's not about how many you can get, just making sure you get quality reps. So going into that second set. Alright, so one thing also when you're doing this particular exercise, every single set you do, the reps are going to drop. Yeah, so don't be so worried about you can't get the same reps and they're drastically dropping in the reps. That's just your muscles fatiguing very quickly and holding that body weight of yours. It just gets harder and the muscles just fatiguing. So there's nothing wrong with that. That is perfectly fine. And that is what you want. The muscles fatiguing a lot quicker. This means that less reps, less fatigue for your body in general, less exertion, better for you when you're trying to build that muscle mass. So you only want that muscle to just get tired as quick as possible, and you don't want to have too much exertion through your body. You don't want to be burning too many calories. So we're going in for that. One more, last set. So that's pretty quick, instantly pushes into the muscles, really feel the fatigue in the biceps really. That's what you should feel when you're doing this particular exercise. That is it, 3 sets on there. Moving on now, we're going to be grabbing those dumbbells and going in for that next exercise. And here we're going to be focusing on some bicep curls. So we're going to be looking at supinating through the biceps here. We're having that palm rotation coming in on the biceps on this next exercise. Going in 10 seconds. So grab the right set for you. So again, just set what you think you're going to be able to lift through that 45-second period. constantly contracting the biceps. It was just the weight on the second set. Okay, so let's go in for it. Standing up nice and tall, chest out forward. Keep those elbows slightly back behind the core, and then get those dumbbells up to the shoulders. So you're rotating as you come up. So back near the thighs, and then supinate as much as you can. Squeeze at the top. Alright, so see how you felt with the weight. So you kept that momentum going all the way for 45 seconds, still felt like you could push a bit more, not feeling enough in the bicep, go up in weight. Make sure you change that weight, whichever weights you have, whether they're changeable, whether it's like fixed sets like this, just make sure you go up a little bit, 2.5 kilos, something like that, and that will just push those biceps a little bit more. And again, just 45 seconds rest, and again going in for that second, and same thing with the third set as well. So again, just take your time, sit down as well if you have, make sure your quality reps, don't rush through them, no swinging through the back as well, make sure your form is absolutely perfect when you do an exercise. You want just engagement through the biceps and nothing coming from your shoulders, your back, so make sure you keep that fixed form. All right, let's go for that second set. Keep hydrated through the workouts. So if you got yourself some water, make sure you're just sipping through there and there. Just keep hydrated through the routine. Make sure you're really squeezing at the top. So you don't have to go too fast with the biceps as well. As you're coming out, keep it slow, keep it controlled. Squeeze that bicep at the top. Slowly bring them down, rotate back out again. So make sure you're getting every single repetition is good quality. You're not just trying to get that little swing on the way down and swinging on the way up. That's just taking some of the contraction from the muscle away. So you're just wasting time and just it's more movement than working through the biceps. So last set. So that is it, another 3 sets on the second exercise, 2 more to go. Very fast workouts, just get those 18 minutes in, and you should already feel your biceps pretty fatigued out, pretty tired, because you're working on 45 seconds, 45 seconds off. It's a pretty quick paced routine to just get everything in that 18 minutes. So we're going to be going on to the next exercise. So this time we're going to focus on the dumbbells again, and we're going to be working more on the outside of the bicep than focusing on hammer curls. So no rotation this time, going for the same type of movement, keeping it slow, keeping it controlled, squeezing at the top. We're focusing on hammer curls. So we'll be going in the next 5 seconds, grabbing those weights again. So go with the same weights. All right, take that 45 seconds. And then same again, into that second set again. And just a little tip here, when you're doing the hammer curls, instead of grabbing through the middle of the bar here, like when you do all the other curls, the fact that you're doing hammer curls, all the weight distribution is pointing down. So what I like to do is get the top of my hand actually sitting underneath the dumbbell. So it's actually sitting against the weight or plates, whatever you have when you're doing the weight. So it's like that, and the bars just basically spaced at the bottom. So when you're doing a hammer curl, it gives you a little bit more assistance and contraction through the muscle, because I'm not just trying to grab this bit, I'm just letting from this part of the hand pull up to engage that muscle. So a little tip there to really focus, engage those biceps. And we are ready. All right, we have one last set on this exercise. You should really feel that good pump right now in the biceps. You should feel pretty full already, almost tight enough to sort of when you're trying to squeeze and bring this fist to the shoulder, you should feel that it's just like it just feels restricting you. That's how you should feel right now. That's the kind of good pump that you should have in your biceps right now. So in 15 seconds into that last set, and then moving on to the last exercise, 3 more sets, and that will complete up our 18-minute workout. Let's go ahead, get ready for the last one. Remember, chest out, elbows back. Alright, so let's go into that last exercise. You can again stay with the same weight. Most likely here, again, you can change it. It may be lighter depending how much fatigue you got in the bicep, but the exercise generally is the easiest of them all now. So you might be able to stay with the same weight, or you might still be able to capitalize and go a little bit heavier. All depends on your muscle fatigue and how your biceps are feeling right now. And so we're going to do this in a seated. This is where your chair comes in. So I've got my bench to imitate that upright chair position. So again, going in the next 10 seconds. So we'll be focusing on now just the actual bicep head itself. And we're going to go back into now the supinated position. So you're having your palms facing up on you on this exercise. Keeping those arms on your legs here. So you've got your elbows here, roughly at the end of the knees here. And all you want to do now is pull those weights up, get it closer towards your chin, and then back down into that right angle position. Okay, 45 seconds to rest. As you saw through that movement, form is so important. Making sure you keep that right angle in your arms, so for your shoulder, elbows, all the way to your wrist. And you also see what I was doing with the actual weights. You see how I have my wrist turned out every single repetition. So that's a great tip that you can use to make sure you're strengthening out your wrist and your forearms while it's still engaging that bicep. That is very essential, especially for long term. As a beginner right now, focusing on a lot of bicep exercises and you start doing a lot of half-base curls, you're going to struggle later on because your wrists are going to start to take so much impact when you're going heavier in your bicep routines, but your wrists are not going to be strong enough because you haven't been working them, you've been cutting them out and doing half curls. So let's go for that second set. Make sure you get in that wrist in there so it saves you in the future just focusing on wrist curls, just because you need to strengthen the wrist. Do them while you're doing your biceps. Go out and then curl. So that's a brilliant exercise. Should feel the forearm really tight, as well as feeling that bicep really full right now. Yeah, so that's what you want. So make sure you are engaging your forearm. Make sure you're getting it stronger together, so you're always able to capitalize when the weight does get more and heavier and doesn't start impacting your wrist, giving you wrist injuries and strains. So very important, just strengthen it along with it. You don't want to be going backwards later where you start to feel the wrists are really weak and can't accommodate the bicep weight you can lift, and then you have to start doing these individual exercises. All right, let's go for the last set to finish up the workout. So that, guys, that's the end of the workout. Hope you enjoyed this bicep routine. I'm feeling really pumped with the biceps, so I think definitely you will as well. Make sure you're training this way to maximize your muscle growth. This brings us to the end of the 7-day workout program. All you have to do is repeat this program for another 7 days, continuously for at least a month's period to really see some benefits out of the program. So make sure you're doing that consistently. Make sure you look after your diet, so you need to be really focusing on those surplus calories so you're actually maximizing muscle growth and having less calorie expenditure through your actual week. So if you do like today's workout video, make sure you smash that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Let me know how you got on with this particular workout. Also, if you need any of the piece of equipment that I was using in today's workout, if you need a pull-up bar, which is more mountable, I'll also drop one in the link. Also the loop bands, as well as the dumbbells that I was using for today's workout routine. Make sure you keep up with this program, get through at least a period of a month and see yourself how you're progressing. So make sure you're weighing yourself, make sure you're checking your measurements and seeing if you are getting that growth. If you are really struggling and it's just not working out for you, make sure also to check out my support coaching. I'll drop the link down below so you'll be able to work with me one-on-one. I'll help you, give you my tips and tricks to help you and support you through your diet, exactly what you need to do and how you can get that calorie surplus to help you start building that muscle mass. So I hope you guys the best with this program. That's it for me today. You're watching Harder China, helping you with muscle and stay in the course of increasing your muscle growth. You know what to do, guys. Make sure you're keeping motivated through the program. Stay strong.